Guys, welcome back to another episode of Main Street Mower. I'm here with Adam Jackson and his wife Danae, and they're with RedWing, and they're going to be talking to us a little bit about climbing today. I know this is not mower stuff, it's a little bit unusual for us, but it's something that at Main Street Mower we do sell some climbing gear, and really, thanks to Adam Jackson, we're becoming slightly more educated, and we wanted to bring you guys along for the ride, because maybe you're a landscaper at home and you want to add something like this to your business, add a tree element, or maybe you're a tree climber and you have been doing it the way your uncle taught you or the grandpappy taught you or whatever. You maybe don't know what you're doing and you've just been climbing a tree with your bare hands. And we want to teach you some kind of skill to help you do it safer. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. Tell us what we're going to be learning. What are we doing?
So we're going to do a basic canopy anchor setup with a SRS setup system, where we're going to be using the single line to climb up one strand of this rope. So we're going to tie off a canopy anchor in the top of the tree here, or your building, as our simulation of a tree.
Right.
And Danae's going to help me and be my assistant in setting this up.
Okay, real quick. So we're pretending that we are outside and there's a tree above us, and we are trying to get up there.
Correct.
To do some damage.
You know it.
Some beautiful
tear some stuff up
and lifting and cleaning of trees. I don't know, right?
That's right.
Okay, so first thing you would do is how would you get this rope into the tree?
Okay. Well, Danae, do you want to assist? We are going to start with installing our line by obviously putting it over the limb first, and then what we're going to tie is a Alpine butterfly knot on the longer side of the rope. So if you notice this is the shorter end of the rope, because we're going to end up threading that through this Alpine butterfly. So Danae is going to tie an Alpine butterfly by making 3 wraps around her hand. Okay. So you see the 3 lines here, and she's going to take the one over, and then she's going to take the next one and take it over and thread it right through the center of them wraps, which makes a loop, and then she sets and dresses it. Now it's very important to set and dress this knot because you don't want it to come apart as you tie in this. So as you can tell, it's very easy, and testing it and making sure it's bound up is very important. Then at that point, what she's going to do is she is going to thread the shorter end through there, and she's going to keep on pulling, which is going to send this knot up into the top of the tree, in the top around the branch. What is good about this is once she is up on the limb there, she can be very taut on this limb. It will not come down, it's not going to move, it's solid. The best thing I can always say is move this one out of the way so you don't get confused on this line. When you're ready and you're done with your tree work for the day, you come on and you pull on the opposite side of the line, which will retrieve this out of the tree or the building where we are, and you can go home safely. So obviously we've got this Alpine butterfly up in the tree. I'm going to just throw this side off to the side because I don't want to get confused with it. So that is the canopy anchor. Then we're going to do our SRS setup, our single line setup. So Danae, we have a few items here. This is the ISC rope wrench with a tether. This is going to work as a false branch on the rope to help create a bend in it so it works smoothly with your prusik. This is an I&I prusik, which we're going to be tying our knot with today. And then obviously a carabiner light red, because this simulates do not open. We always stop at a red light, so if you see red on a carabiner, the only time you open it is when you're back on the ground and you're safe, okay? And then what we do is, there's a few different versions of this one. This is the newest one. This is called the hitch climber pulley, and this is the eccentric. On all these items, there's arrows pointing up. There's a little arrow right here, and then on this one here, on the rope wrench, there's arrows pointing up right here, okay? So, Danae is going to probably start by putting the rope wrench on first, which there is a very slight, you can just roll it in with this pin here and then slide the pin through, which locks it in place. It won't really go anywhere at that point. It'll just hang there just as it is. Okay, Danae is going to tie a VT which is a French prusik. She is going to wrap it 3 times at the top of the rope, and then she's going to cross them back and forth around the rope, kind of like she's sewing around the rope. So until there's no ends left on that prusik. Then at that point, remember the arrow's up on this. She's going to take this and she's going to slide it. The doors do swing open because of the pulley in there. She's going to slide both ends of the prusik and both ends of that tether between the hitch climber pulley there. And then she's going to run this carabiner through. Sorry. Yes. And it's very easy for it to fall apart, so you've got to be so focused and have everything held in place as you're pushing it through. And it's sometimes a bit stiff to just wrap that thing around. One of the best things you can do when you are doing this is you want to run that carabiner all the way around through both of them splices, because you want the open door to be able to just clip into your saddle when you're ready. Okay? So that's what she's doing now. She's got it in. And this is a very new setup in many ways, but a very simple setup. So all it is it assists itself as it goes up the rope and addresses itself. This is going to always stay tight. Sometimes you've got to just hold it tight, and this will hold anybody's weight. And there's a very simple setup. When I want to ascend, I push up and pull down. Okay? And that's where I would be clipping in on my anchor on my saddle, right here. So, and that's as simple as it comes. Now, there's other things that help with this, but this is a very easy system to maneuver around the tree, come out of the tree also. When you are ascending, you can use a few other things, from a knee ascender, a foot ascender as well, which helps with your ascent. Once you get up into the tree, you can still use this as your working system and take them items off.
So just so I understand, Adam, this is going to be hooked into your harness here.
Correct.
And then you might have some kind of foot ascender here. Mm-hmm. And as you go up, you're pulling this whole system up with you.
Correct.
And that's preventing you from falling back down.
Correct. And basically, this will assist itself. I don't have to hold it, my foot, and I'm usually reaching up here when I'm pulling up.
Right.
So my weight's on this part.
Something we were talking about, I was laughing with Danae, and I was saying, I can't do,
push-ups.
Chin-ups, right?
Chin-ups,
a ton of chin-ups. I can probably do a couple. But when I see people climbing a tree, I'm like, whew.
It's exhausting.
It looks exhausting, but if you're using your legs, I can do a whole lot of squats.
Yeah.
And so that is an interesting...
The energy that you're going to use in this, in comparison to some of the older systems that we used to use, you should have a lot more energy to get your job done, what you're wanting to get done, because ascending a tree can be exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there. I've worn that T-shirt.
And what's about this rope? Is this strong enough to hold a guy like me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very well. This is tachyon. And we make this rope. We provide you guys with this rope as well, and a functional rope for multiple faucets. This rope, it's an excellent rope.
That's really cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, the chest is to keep your body straight. Mm-hmm. So ergonomically, she can be straight going up the rope like she's walking up a ladder. So technically, she's got the chest harness on, so her body stays straight. She's going to have this clipped in right here, which keeps her close to the rope, okay, and keeping her body straight, so it's like she's walking up a ladder, is a lot easier. When you're rocking back, you're unbalanced, and that's why the chest harness is important. Yeah. And then obviously the saddle, this is a Tuffelberger saddle. This is the Tree Motion Evo. This is probably the best of the best. This is the Cadillac of all saddles, And then she's got a knee ascender on, which falls along her knee. This is a Socker. And then she's got an ISC foot ascender on there as well.
Wow.
So they both work in conjunction on this same rope, and she's going to be walking up that road. It's kind of like riding a bicycle backwards, is the best way of saying. So Danae's going to take the system that we tied earlier, and she is going to attach it into her bridge right there. Okay, she's going to take a few jumps in it, make sure the knot holds. That is a very important piece right to the puzzle there, is testing, making sure your knots are holding. At that point, you will be able to notice if you had failure in your knot and retie it. So she's obviously got her foot ascender in right now. She's attached her chest harness, which is attached here. So she's already got one lock, so she's able to pull herself up, and then she's going to attach her knee ascender, which I'm going to come to the bottom to stop her from rocking up. She's going to attach her knee ascender at this point, and that just clamps onto the rope very simply. She's going to reach up above the rope, and she's going to walk the rope very easy.
Oh, look at her go.
And it's very simple.
Gym class.
Yeah.
Master.
And then when she gets to that point where she's happy, she's going to lean back a little. She's going to let go, and she's going to release her knee ascender. And then she's going to work herself to her foot ascender and release it. The knot, she's going to take off her chest harness, and then she's able to descend or work around the tree at that point, which, as easy as it was going up the tree, now everything's gravity to work with. And there she is. Comes all the way back down.
Man.
As simple as that. Okay, it's your turn.
Guys, thank you so much for coming and showing us this SRT. No,
Stationary rope system.
stationary rope system, and demonstrating it. That was awesome. You climbed that rope like a champ.
Yeah.
Like,
It makes it look so easy.
Man, I hope this girl can climb this rope. No problem. And that was a really great, just, I don't know, system. There's so much to learn when it comes to ropes that it's kind of intimidating. Because we talked for a while about what is this video going to be about, and there's hundreds of systems, hundreds of knots, and you just have to kind of start somewhere and master one, right? And then once you've done that,
one thing at a time. You don't want to overconfuse yourself. You don't want to try too many things all at once, because that's when accidents happen. So, you know, if you're doing this, you need to make sure people are around you that understand what you're doing. It isn't something you just want to try out on your own and go and do it in your backyard where nobody knows what you're doing, because you could end up laying flat on the ground. So we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Well, guys, thank you, Adam Jackson from RedWing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Danae. I really appreciate you climbing,
We
demonstrating.
appreciate it.
And guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you watch another episode in the future. Take it easy. See ya.